Okay, so a while ago I posted a video about getting a lawnmower started for the first of the season, and now we're past that, so now it's time for getting the pressure washer out, cleaning the deck off. The deck's quite a mess. So the lawnmower issue, I tackled an issue where it had been sitting for a while, but I had ran it dry, and I had always ran it really well with high octane gas. Now the unfortunate situation about this pressure washer is sometimes when you get the job done, you still have gas in there. You put all the hoses away and then you forget, oh, that's right, I still have gas in there that I'd really like to burn up. I'll get it later. Well, the unfortunate situation with this, I kind of went against my rules. I forgot about it and it got stored. So now it's got about a quarter of a tank of gas in there that's been in there for probably, well, it's over a year, 14 months maybe, 13. It was high octane gas, of course. It's about a quarter of a tank. Now, you can take the tank off and drain that or siphon it out with a hose if you want. I'm going to try here. I just added some brand new fresh high octane gas to it. And hopefully we're just going to burn it out. Now, problems you might encounter here is getting it started. You're going to have trouble getting it started. Maybe once you get it started and you actually start sucking some of this new half and half fresh old gas, it'll finally run. The trouble is getting it running. Got these gnats out here. The trouble is getting it running in the first place. If you can get over that hump, it'll probably limp through running this half and half gas out. Well, the nice thing is on some carburetors, you've got a button on the bottom of it with a spring where you can just push in and it'll empty the bowl. Mine does not have that. Mine's kind of it's kind of hard to see. Mine's kind of a combo carburetor gas tank. They're combined. I'd have to take the whole gas tank off and then unscrew the carburetor from the top there. One thing you can do is use the prime button, prime a little gas in there, pull the recoil, and it'll hopefully burn the fresh stuff you pumped in. You might have to do that, and then it'll shut off. You might have to do that several times, 2-3 times, before it finally starts really sucking the good gas. Now you say, what if my small engine doesn't have a primer bulb? All right, well, here's a trick I like to do. I'm going to pull the spark plug, of course, examine that. Hopefully I'll remember to put the plug wire back on this time when I try and demonstrate the start. You ever wonder what to do with if you ever have kids, these old syringes that came with medicine every time they were sick, and so by the time they grew up to be about 8 years old, you had about 30 of these lying around the house. I like to use these in the shop. I take some to work. I've given them to guys to squirt oil in dyes before we shove steel in them. But I've got a little gas in here, fresh gas in here. So I take the spark plug off. Now I don't want to get crazy with this. I don't want to squirt too much, but we'll just squirt a little. Let's see, we'll just squirt a little in there. And then put the plug back on. Plug wire. I'm not going to put the plug wire on yet, because I haven't even pulled this yet. So that's just a couple pulls with the spark plug wire off to get the oil circulating before we actually get it going. Another disclaimer is here, if you're new to pressure washers, you want to make sure your fresh water connection hose from the house is hooked up, turned on, and no kinks. You want to make sure it actually, if you have a connection that leaks down here, that actually helps you see that you know it's running. I do feel some drips coming out down at the bottom. That's good. So I'm going to go ahead and put the plug wire on, turn the choke to the right spot, and and we'll get the world. All right, so I squirted the primer bulb. It just burnt up the little bit I shot in there, and now it's done. So that took me 2 times of pushing on the primer bulb. And the first time I pushed on the primer bulb, it burnt up the little bit I squirted in there, and then it was done. It took just a second push. So now if you don't have a primer bulb, it gets a little tedious, but you'll take that spark plug off, squirt a little in there, put the plug back on, put the plug wire on, pull it. It might turn over a couple times, shut off. You might have to do that several times. I do it a lot in the winter with the snowblower, and the easiest thing on a snowblower is spark plug is actually vertical on the top on most snowblowers. Snowblowers have been sitting for 2-3 weeks, sometimes waiting for snow. It's cold, they don't want to start. Those snowblowers are the biggest things for me that have trouble starting in the winter. So I do that a lot with the snowblowers. Other than that, I think I covered everything. I just wanted to show you a little tip for maybe if you don't have a primer bulb, you can squirt in with a little syringe in the spark plug. Don't forget to after you're done doing this, get your spark plug wrench and give it the little extra turn, because right now I just have it hand tight. I'm going to do that before I power wash. Have a good day.